How did we end up in this situation? You're probably wondering. This is my huge Alocasia Micholitziana. Honestly, she looks crazy right now. And unfortunately, she has been in this bathtub for 1 week, I think, at least. I was in the middle of spraying every single plant off in my plant room because I had it up to here with the freaking mealy bugs. I wanted to like literally hose everything off with horticultural oil, including this big plant because it still had a little bit of spider mites remaining, and it just needed a good hose off. So I had taken my big xoxo, I had it in here, and I showered it off. I was taking a photo for Instagram, and I got it put back. And then this was the last plant that I had to do. I left it in here overnight to let the leaves dry and everything, but lo and behold, that night would not be like a normal night. I woke up 3 in the morning, just sick as a dog. It's left me out of commission for like the last several days. So unfortunately, the plant is not sitting in its reservoir, cache pot. It's in pond, and so it's been drying out every day. I've had to come in here and try and like water it so it doesn't dry. Because it's been in here a week, it's looking a little bit sad, a little bit droopy. And also, I noticed probably like the last couple of months at least, she's been doing a lot of yellowing. And she did that once before, and I attributed that to not getting enough nutrients. And this time, I think it's a little bit of not getting enough, not being able to feed her enough because she's so root bound now that she's sucking up water. Every 3 or 4 days she's completely dry, and I dump a gallon in there. And I like when I took her out of that cache pot, there's so many roots. They're all probably dried up on the bottom now, peeking out, that she needs a repot and upsize. But I don't really want to upsize her anymore because they've already sort of rearranged my plant room. I'm filming a plant update next, so stay tuned for that. So the corner that she was in, I do plan on putting her back, but I'm going to downsize her. Yeah, she's too big, you guys. She literally takes up an entire corner of my plant room, and I have too many plants for her to like go back in the spot with her being the size that she is. So what I'm going to do with you today is we are going to go out into my like dining area. We are going to unpot her, take off as many corms as we can take off, and then we're going to separate the babies that have grown up. So there's one main stem that you can see, and then there's 3 big babies that have like shot up from the past year or so from like being in pond. I think she's been in pond 1.5 years now. I want to have like a smaller version of my Alocasia Micholitziana in my plant room. I don't want it to be this huge massive plant because, yeah, like I said, I just have too many plants and it was just too chaotic. And with all these leaves, they're more prone to spider mites and stuff, and I would rather consolidate her. I already have so many big phylos and alocasias. I need to tame some of them, and she needs tamed. So yeah, I am going to get this heavy girl lifted up out of this tub and meet you in my dining room, and we're going to unpot her and see what is going on down there. Did you see that just fall? Son of a gun. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh well, the mess has already started. Oh, gosh. Ah. Well, there is, I guess, no reason for this potting mat. Well, since she's already down like this, let's try and get her out of here. The pond is already so dry. Like all this root that's here on the bottom is all like dried now. I did my best. I literally just had no energy to get this plant repotted and out of that tub. I already see some big honking corms though. Can't with these giant corms. Oh, I gotta pluck one. Look. I mean, the size of these corms are just unreal. Do you see? Like, that is a corm on crack or something. Like, that is not a normal size corm. It's huge. It is literally humongous. Crazy. Maybe I should just cut some leaves away instead of like trying to separate her, because now that I think about it, this root system's pretty intertwined. But look at these corms. You guys, I'm probably gonna have like a million corms. I'm gonna be in Micholitziana corm growing. I'm gonna have so many babies. Oh, they're so big. Oh yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to separate her. There's no way. She really does need a bigger pot. Holy moly. That is literally insane. I just can't get over the root system of pond plants. It is insane. It's just so cool. I love looking at the root systems like this. That is insane. I hate to do it. I could just take a big knife and like cut through like the bottom layer, which I might do. Look at this stem. Holy. Oh my goodness. I honestly would love to like prop it and like just replant this top piece in like a new pot. But then she's gonna like probably shoot out multiple growth points from all these nodes. Like this little round part here is like a growth point under there. There's one that's like growing. And then she's got, like I said, 1, 2, 3 more big stems. There's like more corms popping out. I want to try and wiggle in here though and get as many corms as I can. But like this is so compact here. At least it's still moist. I thought it was dry completely. It's like you can see the outline of the pot too. That's so funny. Big, big, big plant. So satisfying pulling off crispy stuff. And like pests can hide in these little crevices. I try to remove like dried caterpillars and stuff as much as I can, especially around new growth, because that's where the freaking mealies like to hide at. They're obsessed. They're just like thrips. They're obsessed with the new leaves. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to figure out what I want to do here. That's crazy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try and dig for corms for a little bit. I kind of do wish I had, I mean, this is a pretty big, it's like a bucket almost. All these roots definitely dried up and fell off. I'm thinking I might saw away and replant, and that way it'll bring her down a little bit and I could cover some of these top nodes and roots, and then she can like grow in. And then what I might do is just, maybe I'll just pluck away some leaves so she's not so massive. Some of them are starting to yellow, like this one here. So I might cut away some of the ones that are already yellowing. So yeah, corm digging time. I probably won't bore you to death with all the corm digging. I'm just gonna, I'm trying to work at a semi-fast pace because I don't want these roots to like be exposed to too much air and dry out while I'm working, but I'll come back on with a game plan here in a second, and then I'll show you the corms all the corms that I found. There's probably like some down in here, but I'm gonna try and just pull what I can from the top. This is what I found so far. Look at all those. It's not focusing. Gosh darn it. My camera's doing the not focusing thing again. There we go. Look at all those. They're humongous. This is probably the smallest corm. And even that's like a decent size right there compared to like these mammoths over here. Like, that's insane. That is insane. There's probably more. I didn't want to go digging around too much in the base. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, I don't have like, I'm just going to use one of my kitchen knives and just clean it really good. I think I'm going to saw away maybe like an inch or so, inch and a half from the bottom of the root system. So if you don't like watching that kind of stuff, like, you know, digging away at roots or chopping away some roots, then just skip. I'll put like a timestamp where you can skip that part. A little time down here that you can skip to. But yeah, I think I'm just going to saw part of the root base off because it's just so rooted. And I may be able to wiggle a stem out of there, but I don't know. I don't want to like stress her too much, but the good thing is that we are going into growing season. So if she does shock a little bit, like she'll bounce back. Like I'm not worried about that. Even if she does like, say if she does like drop all of her leaves, like she's going to grow again in no time. And I don't mind in a sense, because I know I can grow alocasia and I can grow like these big plants. I just want like a manageable plant for me. And I know she's going to keep growing and stuff, but yeah, I'm not worried or anything. I'm not worried she's going to like completely like not make it. But yeah, let me bend you down and let's saw away some of the roots. Now that we are in frame a little bit, I am probably like an inch. That'll loosen some of these roots. I would love to take away at least one of these little babies, but I don't know. We'll see. Here goes nothing. That is crazy. I do feel bad in a way, like chopping away the roots, but I feel like it's only going to benefit the plant. I would rather her not be so root bound and she can get like the nutrients and stuff that she needs, and she's going to grow in some new healthy roots. Let's kind of shake the excess pon out of there. It's like grass. Look at that. Right? That's crazy. Oh, here's a couple more big corms. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to separate. I think the roots are just all intertwined, but we'll see. I think I want to go ahead and just get her kind of somewhat potted back up in here first. That way her roots aren't drying out. I'm just going to reuse all this pon. I'm just going to throw it back in there and add fresh pon on top. And then we'll work on clipping away some leaves and get her kind of restaked and resituated and everything. I finally rinsed more pon. This is my DIY pon. This is like my personal use. Ugh. A lot of it's probably still wet at the bottom, but it's very comparable to lechuza, but I'm going to use all of lechuza here. That's on the potting mat, and then I'll just top it off with fresh. So I kind of washed the pot out a little bit. This one here is a lechuza pot, but I like the Dexeter brand. It's a little bit cheaper and it's pretty much the same thing. This one's nice because you can like lift it up with the white rim, but I'm always afraid I'm going to break it because the plant is just so heavy once you actually get it in here, you know. That back. But But this one here is a nice, I think this is the Classico 28 or something like that. I don't remember. Doesn't feel like that's on there very good. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's scoop some pon in here. Is that another corm? That is. There's so many little roots. I feel bad. All these little root hairs, fine roots. It's okay. Okay, I think that's a good base layer in here. This is where it's gonna get interesting because the leaves are gonna be all crazy until I can fix them. So I guess we're gonna go with, right now, not separating, because, did I snap something? I think I may have broke one. Wow. Oh my goodness. What is going on? The realities of potting a big plant. I'm like, I can't even see anything. I'm just trying to get the roots down in here first. I would love for her to get a little bit more down in there. Kind of want to turn this a little bit. Okay. Crap, now I can't reach the pond. Ugh. Twirl around this way. There's pond under my knees and it hurts so bad. Ow. Woo, this is a workout, man. Oh, you know what? I could just dump this. That might be an easier, but I can't let her go, because if I let her go, she's gonna go flying everywhere. Well, maybe not. Well, let me just try and get a bulk of this in here. If there's any spider mites left on these leaves, they're just, I don't think so though. There wasn't a lot of spider mites, just a few that were left. I feel like the mites took care of them. The silica was doing so good for a while. And honestly, I haven't had spider mites, just on a few alocasia. They were on this one. They were on my Tanderusa. And there was a couple on my Regal Shield, and then a couple on my no, I almost said Argentea. That's the Hoya. What is that one now? I blanked. I have like a all green one pretty much. I think it's just like the leafy alocasias that they like. And I haven't had any on my phylos at all. So I think the silica, for the most part, has done a really good job keeping them at bay. But now that spring's coming and it's gonna be like raining and a little bit more humid, I feel like they'll disappear probably until like next winter. As long as I keep up with the silica. Okay. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. Where did my, oh, it's behind me. Okay. All right, topping off. I actually don't have to use too much of this, which would be good. I was hoping I could get her down a little bit lower. I need like one more good solid plant stand. I might go to TJ Maxx because that's where I got a majority of them in my plant room. All right, she's very turned down. One, because she's dehydrated. So Micholitziana specifically, like these longer leaf alocasias, they hold a lot of water in their stems. So when they're dehydrated, they tend to flop. So once she gets like a good solid amount of water intake, these will become a lot more firm and then she'll like lift up a little bit. But all these little strings are now like that I had used. I have two big green garden stakes in here. I'm gonna reposition them, get her straightened. And then yeah, I'm gonna work on cutting some of these leaves away that I have yellowed. And kind of get her restaked and tied up a little bit, and she's gonna look a lot nicer. I think I'll just leave her in here how she is. I don't think I'll try and cut one of these. I was thinking about it, but I don't know, we'll see. Because I'm like, I don't really have room for her to go back in my plant room. I just like redid that entire corner. But I'm gonna have to redo it again because I don't really have a spot for her. And there's not really a spot for her out here. It would be nice to have like one of these big plants out of my plant room, and I could put someone like along this wall over here as a spot where I have just like a cat bed, but then she's gonna need her own grow light. But I think this one's just a little too big for that. This next part is gonna be very tedious. It's probably gonna take me an hour, I'm not kidding, because I'm kind of particular. Yeah, I have like this green. I'm gonna get rid of this green because I don't like it. It's just too contrasty with the light green. I don't know if you can see these like green ties. I think that's all I had at the time. All I really have is just this white string. I'd rather use that. So I'm gonna get, yeah, like I said, these kind of repositioned. I'm actually gonna water her really quick. Let's do that. Let's fill her up so she can get some water intake, and then I will work on doing the leaves, but I'll probably do a lot of this, oops, off camera, and just come back on and show you the final product, and then we'll figure out where she's gonna go in her plant room. The little bit of nutrient water that I had made up, hopefully this is enough. She'll take a bit to recover, so I don't know if she's gonna drink up as quickly as she was for a bit, which will be good. I tell you, I was watering her like every 3 days. It was ridiculous. I couldn't keep up with it. It's like I would fill up, and these pots, the meter on the Lechuza pots are really good. And it would be like way past the full, and then like, I swear I'd go in there and it'd be all the way down at the bottom again. That's how quick she was drinking everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump what's in here. All right, I will pop back on when I have her kind of re-tied up and re-staked. Give you a final look at her. She's looking a little crazy right now. And yeah, we will find a spot for her in our plant room. And then I kept this. Oh shoot, I got this thing. I have this on the table and I have all these corms. What I'm gonna do with the corms, I'm not gonna do it today. I repotted a couple alocasia. I have like 3 or 4 separate jars of corms. I need to make a new tray. So all these corms, I'm gonna do that. Oh shit. A bit later. If not today, then I'll do it tomorrow. Because I need to go through that room and take care of some alocasia, make a new set of seedling trays and everything. So I'll probably do that on my own time, either today or tomorrow. But yeah, I have a lot. I probably have at least 20 corms here. So I'll be growing some Micholitziana babies. If you want some, they'll probably be ready in like 2-3 months. Usually like by the time it sprouts and it gets a decent size, especially now that we're coming into spring, they're gonna start growing and sprouting faster, all my alocasia props. So yeah, I will be back here in a second. I'm back. I am very warm now. That was a lot of work, a lot of leaf maneuvering. But you wanna see the final plant? I'll give you a closer look. I have a pile of leaves on the floor. I did butcher quite a bit away. I did chop one stalk off, the smallest one. A lot of the leaves looked like they were yellowing and it was just kind of like tilting. I just chopped it. It's probably gonna regrow though, so it's probably gonna get fuller at the bottom as that one grows, which would be nice, but it's kind of like, I kind of like chopped it and tied it as to where it's like a trunk and then like the leaves are kind of like, it's like more of like a tree, I guess, than like this. It was just too much. It was too chaotic, you guys. I can deal with what it is now and put it in my plant room and be happy. It was way overgrown. It needed a chop back. This was much needed. So let me give you a look at her. You're so crazy. Okay, so that is all the leaves that we chopped away. It looks rough, you guys, I know, but I accidentally cut a couple leaves that I didn't mean to, but that is okay. It's fine. They're just leaves, and some of those were like yellowing and they just, I don't know, I just needed to trim some away. I really want to trim this one because it's yellowing. I don't really like this leaf, but I'm going to put, this is going to be the back of the plant so you won't even see it, but I really don't like that leaf. But yeah, that's the final look. So you can see how tidy the stem is. I'm going to cut a little bit of the stems where you can see where I had cut a few more. I need to cut in deeper a little bit, so I'll do that. And I just started tying like crazy in here. It is just chaos. This here is probably going to be the front side, and then once she gets repositioned in some better light, her leaves and stuff will angle a little bit better. It's just more petite. It's more manageable. This I can deal with. This is a nice big pretty leaf. Oh, I love that big prominent veining. It is gorgeous. That's where I chopped that stump, that one there. So that one's gonna regrow in some time. And I don't know if any more shoots would pop up out of here, out of, you know, what's there. I did cut a lot of leaves away, like I said, but hopefully no more sprout up because I don't want this to be like a huge bush anymore. I do have a lot of new growth coming in. I think I have like, I think I counted at least 3 or 4 new leaves. There's one there, and then one there coming in. I feel like it'll appreciate it. It's not gonna be root bound, new roots will grow in. It's gonna be able to get its nutrients and not dry out like it was. It looks so much better. I don't know. I just wish I would have done this a little bit sooner. As soon as I saw like all these yellowing marks, I was like, okay, I need to get her repotted. So I'm happy with it. All right, this is going to be the final setup. I took the alocasia out of the planter and sat that on the floor. just to give some like height dimension. That one's back on the stand, and Micholitziana is on the floor, and then the ties are kind of squished back there. Yeah, that's kind of the setup I'll do until I can make some more room in here. I kind of feel bad, I kind of chopped so much of her away, but it was just out of hand. It was just like her leaves were all the way up in here, and just now El Choco's like massive. I'm eventually gonna have to propagate that plant, but I think for now I'm gonna let it grow probably until it gets pretty tall, and then I'm gonna have to chop it at some point. That was a project. I am tired. I still have my mess to clean up. I have a big mess in the bathroom and everything. I have pond everywhere out there. But I'm glad I took care of her today. It's just been weighing on me because I'm like, I left her in the tub for like a whole week, and then, you know, it took so long for me to grow the plant to the size it was. It's just, yeah, it was needed. She needed a good little trim, so I'm happy with that. I still have my Micholitziana. My variegated ones are rehabbing. They're eventually going to grow and get big again. So again, it's like more big plants in here. But I did downsize quite a bit. Like there is a lot of room in here. It's just, I think the poles are going to be the next project. I think there's 4 poles that I'm going to completely take off the plants. I think they're similar enough where I just feel like I just have too many big plants, and I'm gonna have to cut it back. And that one is next to my heterophylla. She's doing the same thing. She's massive, and I want to keep like one small plant and do basically the same thing, kind of like repot it, get the corms out, and I do want to separate that one and kind of like create some smaller plants that I can let go. I did that too. I think I did my Maharani the other day. When I was like spraying all my plants off, I just had to take care of some plants because they were just too overwhelming in here. So I hope you enjoyed and kind of had fun watching me kind of figure out what to do and everything with her. And yeah, I don't think she would have any issues bouncing back. I think she'll be good. So I'm gonna be filming a plant update probably in like 3 or 4 days. So if she shocks, I'll know. So I'll be able to let you know in that video if she shocks a little bit, but it's okay. She's gonna push new growth here in no time. She's gonna be popping out leaves left and right. It is already so much warmer in my plant room. It is 78 degrees in here today because it is south facing. So it's very warm in here. But yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you again very soon.